Hello, Ali.
Hello.
Could you introduce yourself briefly?
Sure. My name is Ali, and I am British, but I've been living in Japan for 6 years. I'm an English teacher and YouTuber, and I have no idea how long I'll be in Japan, but I am here to stay, I hope.
Yeah, great. I shot YouTube videos with her sometimes. Yeah, and she's doing YouTube channel, so
Yes.
please watch her YouTube channel as well.
Thank you.
I'm gonna ask you about your life in Japan. To help people who want to live in Japan or travel to Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, you came here 6 years ago.
Yes.
So was it hard for you to start living in Japan?
Not really. I think once you decide to just go for it, it is kind of scary to go and live in a different country. But once you decide, that you can do it, it's kind of exciting. You want to explore and have an adventure, and that certainly is what it was. I would say that, I was quite lucky. I managed to survive quite well without speaking Japanese, but I think speaking the language would just make everything so much easier. So I really recommend, if anyone's coming to Japan, do just like an intensive course or pick up a textbook and get familiar with all the terms and even like the kanji kanji is really difficult, but like katakana or hiragana, that would really help, I think.
Yeah, it's better to learn Japanese. But how was your Japanese level when you came to Japan?
Really, really basic. I didn't have much Japanese at all, to be honest. I was just lucky, I suppose. I managed to survive. And I would say that Tokyo is really English speaking friendly. But if I were to speak, I have some like Ukrainian friends, and they were like, there's no way that they could have survived if they didn't learn either Japanese or English. So I guess I'm pretty fortunate that I speak English, and many people, people in Japan are so friendly and helpful. So instead of, generally I would say that, people really want to help, and I know a lot of people with really good levels of English. So yeah, I've been lucky.
Regarding the cost of living in Japan, yeah, especially in Tokyo. So yeah, you live in Tokyo. So did you struggle with the cost of living, or it was okay for you?
I would say that I think it is because I came from London beforehand, and London's also very expensive.
Yeah.
But I think in Tokyo, yes, things are expensive, but I think you get paid more. So, to be an English teacher in London, I think I would be paid much less. Also, it depends how much you work as well. So, I think generally everything is a bit up. And, it's also quite good to bear in mind when it comes to money is, to embrace the Japanese way. So eating Japanese food is going to be much less costly than, going out for Mexican or, like Italian every night. So it's just about being conscious of your environment and, of your spending.
Was it easy for you to find a job in Japan?
I joined an English language school, Eikaiwa, and yeah, I think I've been fine. There's so many different types of English language schools, to kind of get you over here. And then I also did modeling, and that was like a really fun way to, get an income. So yeah, I think it was pretty easy for me. But I would I think Japanese are generally very serious in terms, they don't mess around, and everything they do it with pride. So I wouldn't recommend it, coming to Japan and getting a job for those who just, want a free ride kind of thing. Like if you are serious about embracing Japanese culture and, developing your life here in Japan, then I think it's going to be so much easier for you rather than just coming to party.
Yeah. Regarding housing, yeah, living, is it comfortable for you to live in Japan like a Japanese house, Japanese apartment?
So actually, I've lived in a variety of different types of places. What I will say to anyone who's thinking of coming to Japan is just be aware that it's a lot smaller, and you're going to be paying quite a lot for a very, very tiny space. Another thing that Japanese do very well is make use of space. So you may see, like this tiny little house squeezed into two buildings, or, like two huge multi-story, office buildings with a tiny little shrine in the middle. It's Japanese use space really well. So be prepared to downsize. And also share houses aren't a hugely common thing, although I did stay in a share house in a very old Japanese house, and I had a really great time. I'm also very grateful that Japan is so safe, because I was living essentially with strangers, but I had a really great experience, and yeah, it was good.
I see. Yeah, actually, the safety is the advantage of
Definitely.
living in Japan.
Yeah.
I think it's very safe to live in Japan.
Yeah.
Is it comfortable for you?
Yeah, I mean, it just has a really nice environment. And I think, I definitely agree with you, Yasu, like Japan is so safe. But I think we can't just think this way, like weird things happen in every country. And I'd say that generally safety comes from Japanese people's attitude that harmony is more important than I get what I want kind of thing. So I think it's important, again, like not to abuse that and not to assume that everybody thinks this way, because, there are all sorts of people in every country. So,
Yeah, right. You have to respect the country's
absolutely.
culture.
Yeah. So
about friendship, making friends. Is it easy for you to make friends in Japan?
Yeah, weirdly. I mean, I've always kind of just fallen into friendships. One of my best friends, I met her at the gym. It's just like completely random. And I would say, again, just be open-minded and see who comes into your life. And I didn't come to Japan desperate to make friends. And I think that kind of attitude makes you're open, but you're not clingy. And yeah, like also a lot of people enjoy spending time by themselves in Japan, as well as, in groups and stuff. And I'm quite like that too. So I enjoy my own company and then meet people along the way, which is kind of like a really easy, pleasant way to make friends.
I see. Yeah. Actually, there are some foreigners in Japan as well.
Yes, yeah. A surprising number, actually.
Yeah. You are from Britain.
Yes.
So the food is very different from Japan, I think.
It is very different.
How is it in Japanese food?
I've always loved Japanese food, or at least the sashimi and seafood type of thing. As I mentioned earlier, I lived in London before I lived here, and London has, any type of cuisine you want, you can get it. So I was very comfortable with Japanese food. And when I came to Japan, the honest thing is that it was much more delicious in Japan and also much cheaper. I'm having a great time. Enjoying the food so much, because honestly, I've never had a bad meal in Japan. Only the ones that I make.
Last question. So, do you have any advice for people who want to live in Japan?
Embrace the Japanese way, be open-minded, and be respectful to the culture.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So she's doing her YouTube channel. So please watch her YouTube channel.
Thank you very much.
And the Instagram.
お願いします.
All right. See you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.